And the aria goes to Guy Sebastian. Angels Brought Me Here.
Guy's debut single went straight.
Well, as promised this morning, it's time to catch up with a bloke who's had a pretty extraordinary year or so. A year or so ago, he lived anonymously as a 22-year-old in suburban Adelaide. He juggled a couple of jobs as a high school vocal teacher and as a recording engineer. Loved nothing more than tearing around the Adelaide hills on his Yamaha 250 motorbike. Now, of course, he owns the Yamaha hills. We know him as the winner of the original Australian Idol. He has the highest-selling single in Australian music history. He scored an ARIA and the Channel V Award for Artist of the Year, and he's about to hit the road on a national tour. And he still gets up early and comes on the Today Show.
That's right.
But mate, where's the fro? No fro, no show. Hey?
No, it's done the old, get out the shower, chuck the beanie on and roll myself into the car and fall asleep while I get driven here.
I understand that. That's what we all do around here this time of the day. So things are kind of busy, huh?
Yeah, things have been... It hasn't been too bad this week. I kind of, every time an artist releases something, they've got to do all the radio and stuff. But I did that with the single just a couple of weeks ago, so I've kind of relaxed a little bit this week.
Well, your week started with a kind of a bang on Sunday night at the Arias.
Yeah, that was great.
In front of the nation and all your new best friends in the room there.
That's right, and my hour-long speech.
It was a good speech. How did it feel walking out there and getting the award in front of the industry and everybody else for highest selling single of the year?
It was great. I mean, I've always, dreamt of having one of those pointy, deadly things in my pool room, and now I've got one. But I was especially happy about the Channel V Artist of the Year. I didn't think I'd get that. But yeah, that's one of the ones that is voted by the public, and I was really happy to get that.
Well, there was a certain irony, of course, a lot of controversy and a fair bit of discussion in the weeks leading up. The fact that you and Shannon and Paulini hadn't been nominated for any of the industry awards, hadn't got any nominations there at all. How did you feel about that?
I don't. For me, it wasn't something that worried me at all. It was quite expected. I mean, the industry people, I guess it's all about. I guess it's all about rock and it's all about that kind of thing. I mean, even on the night there was kind of a lot of slagging to all the pop acts, from the rock acts. And so really? I guess...
what, out the back there and stuff?
A little bit.
Spiderbait boys go...
No, you know what? They were the cool ones. They were the really nice ones. Spiderbait were great. But no, it was quite expected. And also my album was done in... my first album was done in 6 days. And so when you got... I guess a lot of music critics and a lot of industry people, they're going to look at that and think, it's for commercial purposes, obviously.
But you're good for the industry. You guys, you and Shannon and Paulini and these people are sending a lot of kids into record stores, selling a lot of music magazines.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I read one article that said, Idol's really bad for the industry, and I thought, this is an industry plagued by piracy, and people are suddenly getting back into record stores and buying CDs, and, they're going to be in there looking at someone else's CD as well, so, I don't see how it's anything but awesome for the industry.
I guess finally on the Arias also, it's a tough year when you're up against, Delta and John Butler and Pete Murray and, all these people with serious kind of industry cred, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially the Channel V award, I didn't expect to get past Jed and Delta, and so that was why I was so excited when they announced my name. So
yeah, well, congratulations on all of that. So 5 days to make the first album.
Yeah, it was tough, that I basically made a pact with BMG. They said, obviously you got to get this out for Christmas so people can get it, and
which is cool.
Which is great. I mean, the sales were awesome, and I
480,000 sales.
Yeah, something like that. I mean,
if this new album sells 479,000, mate, you're on the way up.
If it sells a quarter of that, I'll be stoked. But I mean, the last the album I've just done, I had the last 5 months as opposed to 5 days, and so it was great to be able to write and to be able to work in that. So.
Out of the Blue that we're looking at the moment, number one, straight in at number one, pretty good.
It's come up really good. I wrote that with a guy called Robin Thicke, and I actually sang his song on the Idol show, and so it was great to work with some of the guys. I worked with Brian McKnight, who I grew up listening to, and did
I say Out of the Blue?
You did.
Oh, sorry, Delta.
Sorry, Delta.
You and Delta, I mean, the similarities are amazing.
Out with my baby, sounds kind of similar.
You're right. Thanks for bailing me out there. You recorded the album partially in LA and partially in Sydney, and I understand that you did some of the vocals like in the middle of the night. You're in your apartment in Sydney screaming out. And
That's right. It's I live in an apartment, and I'm always conscious of making noise. You know, I've got my little studio in there, but having that studio enabled me to do probably half the vocals just at my place. I would quickly run to the computer, hit record, and just chuck it on loop. And I guess if you get a guitarist in who's a really renowned guitarist, you're not going to tell him what to play. And I'm a bit diva in that respect. I don't really like being told what to sing by an engineer. You know?
So did you ever have any bangs on the wall? You know, we wish Millsy had won or something.
No, I'm pretty good. Like it was. I remember I did a Stevie cover on the latest album. I Wish.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. And it's ridiculously high. Like I had to scream the whole time, and I had a really strict deadline, and I had to get this song recorded that night. And I'm sitting there at 2 a.m. yelling my guts out, like I'm trying to sing this I Wish song, and yeah, I'm sure that people were getting really jacked off.
Well, listen, the album is out. It's going to debut on the charts, probably at #1 next week.
I don't know. Let's hope so.
You're going on tour. Those tickets go on sale. On Monday. You're doing an in-store in Sydney at Blacktown today, and you're in Melbourne doing an in-store tomorrow. Finally, listen, I just want to do a little thing. On the show yesterday, we created a whole lot of controversy, having Ross talking about a young couple and their reasons for remaining virgins until they got married.
Okay.
You're probably the country's most famous virgin.
Yes.
And faced with enormous temptation. And
yeah, exactly. No, it's been tough. I think people kind of think I'm made of steel, but it's not quite the case. I mean, it is, I'm a bloke like anybody else. I am. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's tough, but I think it helps having a girlfriend who has the same. She shares the same qualities. If I had a girlfriend who just wanted to jump me all the time, it'd be really tough. So yeah, I think it's important to have that backing with my partner. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's all right.
And congratulations on everything.
Thanks, mate.
And good luck. And thank you for being here. Nicest guy in the business.
Absolutely brilliant. That's fantastic.
Threatening John Farnham for the title of the nicest bloke in the business. Thank you, Guy.
And you got to say all those album sales and all that sort of. How can it not be good for the industry, as you said? I think that's the whole point. Yeah. Fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
So you're not going to tell Guy to come rocketing into the 21st century then?
He can, but it's his own choice. As I kept on saying. Frankly,
I don't think you did.
But as soon as he does, he'll be a very happy man as well.
Yeah, Guy kicks off a national tour on the Gold Coast on the 15th of November before heading around the country. The album, Beautiful Life, is out now. As I said, tickets on sale on Monday, and we're going to take a break and be back with more of Today